everyone, welcome back to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we are doing the weekly for August 18th to the 24th for the sign of Libra. Alright, my lovely Libras, we are going to get right into it and pull out the 3 messages that the romance angels have for you for the week. Straight out the gate, we have codependency, alright, addictions affecting your love life, relationships, romantic feelings. And we have, give your relationship a chance. Alright, so these are the messages from the romance angels for this week. Alright, you may resonate with one or all of them. You may resonate with none of them, right? We'll see what this is all about. Let's pull out your animal spirits that you're working with this week. Now, this is just a little bit in its inside, pulling out the animal spirits that you may or may not resonate with, or that may or may not describe the individuals that you're dealing with, your person, right? Your friend, your lover. We'll see. But take what resonates, and what doesn't resonate, please just throw that away. All right, my lovely Libras, we have the elk. Alright, so that's earth energy, right? The upside down triangle with the line through it is the alchemical symbol for earth. Elk is a very strong, masculine, paternal energy, alright? Talking about here, this is the great father of the deck, I want to say, right? Then we have tiger. Beautiful. Interesting. The great mother of the deck. Well, I want to say not necessarily the great mother, but more the very, very strong feminine energy. This is actually a fire elemental. So the elk is associated with fatherhood and masculinity. The tiger is associated with divine femininity. And then we have the octopus, water energy, messy, messy, messy. All right, the octopus is all about messy relationships. But we'll get right into it. Let's just take a quick moment to review these animal spirits before we go into the forecast for the week. All right, we have the elk. Like I said, the elk is very strong, powerful masculine energy, but very earthy masculine energy, okay? He's the great protector. The elk, he's certainly the father figure, the closest to a father figure in the deck. The flip side to the elk is that he can be aggressive. He can be a little bit, too haughty, too full of himself, too egotistical, right? But for the most part, the elk is a strong father figure and family man. This is the animal that sticks by its family, protects its family. There's nothing you could say to an elk about its children that an elk personality would believe you, right? So this is the person, although they're very strong and can be very aggressive in a lot of ways, they are absolutely loyal, right? And they're very, very protective, okay? Then we have tiger energy. Tiger is interesting because the tiger hunts oftentimes by the moonlight. You can see the crescent moon there in the third eye position of the tiger. Indicates a high level of extrasensory perception with this type of personality. All right. They see things that average individuals do not see. Okay. The tiger has a very strong feminine quality to it. Oftentimes when the tiger comes into your life, it is an indication that you need to look at all aspects of what's going on in a situation, right? That you need to look at perhaps some of the things that are not obvious, right? Open up your third eye to information that's coming in that isn't necessarily on the surface. The tiger also has a lot of ease with the dark. Again, like I said, they come out at night. The tiger hunts at night. The tiger hunts in the jungle by the moonlight. So the tiger is also comes into our lives at a time when we need to embrace our wild side, our wild darkness, right? When we need to have courage. The tiger absolutely fears nothing. Right? It's very highly attuned in terms of the ability to soothe and heal spiritually, sensually. The tiger is also highly receptive because of that feminine energy. All right. So the tiger, you know, drinks in the darkness. The tiger drinks in the silence. The tiger is comfortable in those areas. All right. Fearless, beautiful, strong, feminine energy. Then we have the octopus. The octopus is interesting. We have water energy here. Now, the octopus indicates messy relationships, being entwined with multiple lovers, multiple relationships, not having any boundaries. You know, oftentimes the octopus doesn't know where it ends and the next person begins, right? All the tentacles you can imagine, just like the animal. The animal spirit, you know, is blind. First of all, most octopi are blind, right? I don't know if you know that. Okay, they perceive by its touch, and they feel their way through the darkness, right? Because octopus live in the darkness of the deep ocean. And so because of that darkness and that this ability to sort of entwine itself in whatever it is around, oftentimes the octopus is in our lives when we have very messy relationships that are without any boundaries, right? When you have your finger in too many pies, as it were, right? And things become very confused and very complicated. It's time to pull back, you know, when you're feeling this kind of energy. The octopus reminds us it's time to pull back. It's time to set boundaries. It's time to maybe mind your own business or perhaps tell others to mind their own business. You know what I'm saying? Oftentimes you can get caught up in these kind of messy situations just because they've gotten away from you, right? Because you know, when you have a lack of boundaries or you have a lack of sort of criteria that you require, and it's sort of anything goes, you know, flying by the seat of your pants, you know, you'd have to be constantly aware and in the moment to have a healthy life. And who lives like that? Very few live like that. And so you get caught up in situations, and before you know it, you're in a very, very messy place with a lot of people. All right, so we're going to take a look at about 7 or 8 forecasts here for the week to see what you are going through this week, our lovely Libras. Hopefully one of these forecasts will resonate with you. This is going to be on love, life, and career. And let's get right into it. We have 8 of Pentacles, 9 of Wands, and Page of Wands. And one of the reasons, just as an aside, one of the reasons that I show the cards like this, rather than focusing on me talking, is because I want my audience to be able to understand how and why I come up, I present the interpretations that I do, or I come up with the stories that are exposed to me through the cards, right? This is not just plucked out of thin air because of, you know, my own kind of narrow interpretation, right? I want you to see the symbols on the cards so you can understand. Hopefully this may lead some of you to want to get your own cards and to use the tarot for your own sort of spiritual and emotional growth, right? So in any case, here we are. We have the 8 of Pentacles, and this is an example right here. 8 of Pentacles. 8 is the number for boundaries. All right, and so Pentacles, this is the card for mastering, right? This is a hand crafter, right? It's a person who makes things with their hands, and it's extremely difficult to make all of these pentacles with such quality and such uniformity unless you are a master craftsman. How do you become a master craftsman? Well, you must be disciplined. You must put restrictions in place. You must put boundaries in place, right? As we see with the 8. Boundaries in place and restrictions on how you live. You can't go out drinking every night if you know you have to be up in the morning and go to work, right? If you know you have to work on a project or you have to complete something. These are the boundaries and the restrictions we put on ourselves that we then translate into discipline. It's this kind of discipline that makes you a master at your craft. And ultimately, this is the meaning of the card. So a lot of you this week, Libra, you're knuckling down. You're doing what you need to do to increase your craft, to get better at your skill level. This could be at work or on a project. However, some of you are going through a 9 of Wands. Now, nines, inherent in all the nines, is a sense of isolation because, of course, the 9 in the major arcana is the Hermit card. And so it's not even so much an isolation, but it's more like walking the path alone, right? So 9 of Wands is at a time when you've really been through a lot in your life. You've had a very difficult stage that you've gone through where you've shouldered a lot of responsibilities and burdens. Those 9 Wands symbolize the burdens that you've taken up during this last stage, right, of your life, okay? And so now in the 9s, we take a moment to look back on all of the hard work that you have done without the help of anyone, right? You take a moment to reflect on where you've come from and how far you've come, because you're about to reach the 10 of Wands. And 10 of Wands is completion. It's when you're ready to lay down those burdens and end that cycle. But in the 9 of Wands, we take a breather, right? We're gathering our last bit of strength. We take a breather. We look over on everything we've been through. We realize that there is still a bit more to go. Okay, and so we have Page of Wands coming in with a new idea, a new option, a new opportunity for perhaps a project or to move forward with a goal or an idea. All right, and so I think a lot of you Libras this week, you are knuckling down with your work. You are getting ready for the end of or the close of a very difficult stage. You see it in your sights, okay? This could even be like, for instance, if you've taken up the responsibility of caring for a loved one, okay? And that caring for that loved one has really been difficult. You've taken the responsibility. Yes, it's been a burden and you've done the best you can, but it's been very difficult. And perhaps you're coming to the close of that burden, right? Maybe in a year, or in a few months, I want to say, or in a little space of time, you no longer have to bear that burden. This is what we're talking about. And so you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, but something comes in this week that gives you kind of an idea of what may come after. What may come after you close this stage. Once you reach the 10 of Wands and you lay this burden down. This Page of Wands comes into you this week, Libra, and you just get an inkling. And I think for some of you, you start to get excited about the future again. 3 of Cups, King of Wands, and Queen of Cups. Interesting. So some of you are dealing with you're dealing with a friendship situation, okay? There's something going on with your local kind of social scene, right? So 3 of Cups is all about celebrating with like-minded individuals, your friends, your social group, your tribe, your nation, what have you, okay? 3 is the number for bonding and loyalty, right? It's also the number for patience. And so in 3 of Cups, we kind of celebrate that bonding and loyalty to our community or our social group. But interestingly enough, some of you are kind of dealing with an individual, I think, in your life that's not very happy about that. You have a King of Wands here. Now, it could be that some of you Libras are dealing with someone who's very fiery. Okay, Wands, of course, is fire. You're dealing with someone who's very fiery. This person is certainly, if you're in a relationship with them, this person is certainly the dominant force in the relationship, okay? And you're representing, I think, very much like Queen of Wands. Queen of Cups. You're being very transparent about your feelings. However, I think this has a lot to do with octopus energy as well, in the sense that somewhere along the line, you and your person have gotten intertwined in some relationships or social connections that have gotten very messy. And I'm feeling that this week there's going to be a discussion about it, because your King of Wands is starting to either get suspicious or paranoid. He's starting to wonder about what's really going on. And this is because there has been some messiness amongst you, between you and your friends. This could have involved some polyamory. Okay, it could have involved some swinging behavior, things of that nature. Or it could just be that your King of Wands is feeling a bit paranoid, right? A bit, just nervous because of the different, I want to say, vibes that are coming in, But less than paranoia, I want to say that you guys may have delved into some things. You may have delved into some things with your king. And if you are resonating with the king and your person with the Queen of Cups, that's fine too. But you guys kind of dipped your toe into kind of like a group scene, I want to say, and things have gotten very messy, and this week is the week to talk about it. It's kind of come to a head. We have King of Pentacles, we have the Justice card, and we have Five of Wands. So some of you are waiting for a judgment to come in. You're waiting for documents to come in, something official. The Justice card talks about evening the scales, balancing the scales, not in as much as karma, but sort of balancing the scales in just in general, and getting what is owed to you, right? In a very official capacity, right? I think that some of you are presenting with King of Pentacles, okay? So you've reached a certain level of abundance and status, but right now you're kind of looking on. It could be that you're involved with this negotiation or this legal formality, or it could just be that you're kind of looking on. You're kind of overseeing it, or you're watching what's going on because it has some sort of impact on you or connection to you. But what are you seeing most of all is that you're seeing the Five of Wands, which is a lot of arguing and bickering and one-upmanship, I want to say. Five is the number for power struggle. Okay, and so while you're waiting, and while either waiting or watching this for formal issue unfold, you're also watching a lot of arguing going on, and a lot of power struggles going on, a lot of back and forth, but you're being very cagey, being very much like the tiger, I want to say, Libra. Okay, you're watching. You're waiting, you're not afraid of what may come out, however dark it is. But for whatever reason, you're sitting back for a moment now, you're kind of watching and you're biding your time. And this week, I think you're going to have a lot to see, and it's going to give you a lot of food for thought. We have Queen of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, and the King of Cups. Wow. Okay, so for some of you, you're meeting your lover this week, okay? You're bringing someone in. This is your King of Cups. I think you're resonating with Queen of Pentacles, okay? I think this is representative of you in this reading, and you've come a long way, right, Libra? You've done a lot of hard work to maintain yourself and to maintain your abundance. But most recently, interestingly enough, the Queen of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles are very, very similar cards in a lot of ways, because the Nine of Pentacles is also a person who has worked very hard for their garden, right? To maintain their garden, to maintain themselves. They love the luxury that they have acquired. However, like I said before, with the nines, inherent in all the nines is a sense of isolation, all right? A sense of going at it on your own, right? And so in the Nine of Pentacles, we talk about being alienated from others by our status, by our wealth. Perhaps the pursuit of all of this wealth is what has kept you from being closer with certain people, or has kept you from being able to relate to friends, perhaps even you grew up with, that now you've fallen out of touch with. You know, this can happen oftentimes when you reach, in the pursuit of wealth and abundance, which there's nothing wrong with that, but it's a hard job, right? It's hard to pursue that and to reach it, to gain it, and to maintain it. And oftentimes the price you pay is being alone, okay? But the Queen of Cups, you do represent with the Queen of Cups, and the Nine of Pentacles is just the state of being that you're at now. Ultimately, I think this is for Librans who are very much in Queen of Pentacles energy, meaning that there have been ups and downs for you for quite some time. But right now, you're more acutely feeling the fact that you're alone, or perhaps a bit lonely in your wealth. And in comes the King of Cups. Finally, a king is coming your way that is someone who may be able to keep up with you, may be able to keep up with your status, and I think this all comes out this week. Ace of Pentacles, Four of Wands, and Six of Pentacles. So some of you are getting an opportunity to raise your abundance and your money, okay? It's interesting, we have codependency, because a lot of these spreads do have within them a certain level of codependency. But here we have the Ace of Pentacles. So this week you have, either this week or most recently, you had a big opportunity coming in, that if you take this opportunity, it will situate you perfectly to be able to go forward with a commitment and love, and to be able to take care of those who who rely on you. Okay, it could be that you have children, or that you have people that you are a benefactor to, or you may be doing charity work. Six of Pentacles is the card for charity work, giving, being harmonious in your giving of wealth to others, okay, and balanced and fair, being fair in how you divvy out what you give to others, or what you provide as charity to others, okay? But part of all of this, you know, it's for some of you Libras, you don't feel like you've been able to move forward with stability in your relationship, or the charitable work or responsibilities you've had, because up until now you may not have had the financial status that, you know, abundance or status that you required for that, okay? But now it's coming in. It either came in most recently, or it is coming in this week. Now, this is not to say this is the first offer that comes in. Remember, when we talk about Ace of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, you can have many offers coming in. But there is one particular offer that is the right one to take. And it's up to you to discern which one that is. Okay, oftentimes when we do these spreads, the interpretation of Ace of Cups oftentimes is misinterpreted as, you know, whatever opportunity comes in. This is not whatever opportunity, and this is not, you know, the first opportunity. You still have to discern which one, you know, which connection that comes your way is indeed the right one, is indeed the Ace of Pentacles. But once you discern that and you take advantage of this opportunity, this will set you up in love and in career. All right, this is going to be your last spread. Ace of Wands, Empress, and Judgment. Wow. Okay, so some of you, Ace of Wands, of course, is the great phallic symbol in the deck. Okay, it's also the beginning of projects. It can be the beginning of a relationship. It's coming into you. Somebody's coming into you with very, very strong sexual, passionate, romantic feelings. Okay, they want to express their feelings to you, and you're very much in this kind of like, you know, I'm not surprised, Libra, because you're embodying Empress energy, which is beautiful, you know, goddess of beauty in a way, you know, Venus energy, right? Very nurturing, beautiful, right? Creative, all right? Coming in. And I think for some of you, this may be a new stage, okay? You may have been coming out of a period of codependency where you've been feeling quite down about yourself, right? And so this week you get a real boost to your self-esteem, okay? Because this attraction comes in, and it really boosts your kind of feeling of self, your sexiness, your sensuality, your self-confidence. All of these wonderful aspects of yourself start to increase as a result of this attention. And I think that you begin to kind of get to a place where you start to drop some of the judgments and negative ideas you've had about yourself. Judgment talks about opening up to the fact of forgiving yourself, opening yourself up to the ability to forgive yourself for things that you know, that you may have felt guilty for or responsible for, right? You know, judgment is, you know, to judge somebody as being bad or good, right or wrong. Judgment is so subjective. It's so personal. There is no right or wrong. The universe just doesn't behave that way. Okay, that's just not the way the forces work. And so when you come to the realization of really laying yourself bare in a way before yourself, and opening up to your responsibilities, opening up to your faults, but then letting go of the guilt, letting go of the judgment, that is a release. And I think that starts to come in this week as your self-confidence grows. And as you start to get some of this romantic attention. And it could very well be that some of you have maybe been telling yourselves you don't deserve romantic attention. And so, of course, when it starts to come in, you start to maybe drop some of these self-limiting ideas you have about yourself. These judgments, these hang-ups, okay? And you begin to release. You begin to become a bit more free. Now, this is not to say that you necessarily have to take this offer. This doesn't have to be a relationship. You know, just because someone comes towards you and expresses attraction doesn't mean you have to now be with them. You can take that energy, though, in and let it absorb it and allow it to kind of increase your own sense of self and your sense of self-confidence, right? Because this idea that what people think of us doesn't matter is absolute bullshit. Okay? It is, you know. So, you know, and anybody who tells you they do not care at all what people think of them is full of shit. On some level, somewhere, somebody, you know, is going to, you know, you care about somebody's opinion of you. All right? And if you don't care about anybody's opinion of you, then chances are most of the time you're alone. And so it's neither here nor there. All right, guys, so this is your reading for the week, Libra. I hope it resonated with you. If it did, please like, subscribe, and share. You know the drill. Hit the bell, all of that good stuff. Help my channel to grow. But for right now, I love you very much, Libra. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.